Hey friends, hopefully everybody had a nice Thanksgiving with your family. Everybody's safe and enjoyed the time together or the time off or all that good stuff. Um, just wanted to raise this question of the possibility of living a life with spirit. I guess those of you know. Uh, I went on a retreat. I went on that retreat with Jeffrey and Debbie and Kevin. That the one that they hosted in Sedona, and how amazing experience it was, and like just my energy level or frequency was like at a 10 out of 10. It was like the highest like vibration, I guess, that I've ever experienced so far in my life. And I wanted it to last, to see how long it would last. And funny enough, it kind of started to go away as soon as I landed at the airport. Some of the pains that I was feeling, and before I went on the trip, came back, and it was a interesting reminder that you're coming back to reality, leaving the life or the state of being uh, is going away, and you're coming back to what you left. And so it kind of, for a while, it made me think like, can you live? I don't know if they call it, if that's the meaning of duality, a life of, you know, Richie the human versus Richie the spirit. Can they coexist together at the same time? Uh, and that's what I've been like pondering um for a while, off and on. And for some reason it came back up today, and I thought I'd uh do what I always do and come to YouTube and ask you all your thoughts um about living a life um as a human and as an evolved spirit. Can those two exist together at the same time? you know uh because we all go through things and like struggles or hard times or hardship, and those times are very uh profound, in the sense that, like, the struggle is strong, the pain is intense, you know all of it's very real, and the weight that you carry from it is heavy, versus when you come out of a meditation class with Terry or Kevin or JJ, you feel light and you're kind of buzzing, you float around and stuff like that. um So it's like the 2 extremes, right? You're like opposite ends of the spectrum. But, yeah, I guess, what I was trying to figure out is, can they happen? Can those 2 worlds exist at the same time? And I don't know. Um, like, when life hits you hard, like maybe your house burns, I don't know, kind of talking extremes here, but, your house burns down, or you lose your job, or you suddenly get diagnosed with like a medical condition that comes out of nowhere, kind of hits you hard, and you're kind of like thrown for a loop, and all that airiness and fluffy stuff is kind of far away
Mhm.
now, and you're just like stuck, well, not stuck, but you're really dealing with it. And you're kind of far away removed from the the fluffy stuff and the light airiness, and you know um you kind of forget about spirit in your team, you know. And so I just don't know if it's possible to do that. Part of me thinks, like, if I don't go through those feelings, then I'm kind of cheating myself, like, in a way, cheating myself out of the full experience that maybe I signed up for, even though I kind of don't want to go through it, but it happens for a reason. Um, so I was just not toying with it, but just trying to come to terms with it, try to get an understanding of it. There's like two things though that kind of like um, I think about often. Is one was a conversation that I had with Ukwala, the medicine man, uh, when I was in Arizona or at Sedona, and he told me that he was. We were just talking, and then he said, "This is a good time for all of us, Richie, because the language is changing." And I didn't bother to ask or think about what he meant by that until a little bit later. And then he explained to me that, for a long time, we only knew a certain way of communication, but this generation, the people that are here now, are evolving to a point where the way we communicate is different. Um, whether it's through telepathy or psychic ability, um, all the synchronicities that are happening, that's changing the way we communicate. There's the language of love, um, light language, all of that stuff, everything's different. So the way people communicate is different. So I understood that, and I was like, oh, okay, that, you know, it's like a way of integrating spirituality with like the everyday life. Uh, I understood it because I experienced it while I was at Sedona. You know, being able to have conversation with people and knowing what they were trying to say without them even saying it, or without uh, um, people even finishing their thought. I already knew what their thought was, so I understood what he was trying to say. Um, so I guess it's an example that I guess it could happen, but I think what I'm really trying to figure out is when life hits the extreme and not the casual, like when we have casual conversation, you know, we're not stressed or pushed into a certain thought process or behavior pattern, where maybe we're on guard a little bit, like to protect ourselves, maybe not to get hurt from something or um, feel bad for what's going on, like when life hits the extremes. Um, and another thing that I was thinking of, or that I do think about often, that kind of coincides with the question of living with spirituality or duality or whatever you call it, is I remember I heard, you know, I've heard, or I've come to the understanding that like life is just a series of moments, right? And we're going from one moment to the next. Um, some moments are greater than the others, but they're all moments. And so I remember hearing, like a moment really is only like 10 to 15 seconds long. Um, and it's up to us if we choose to attach ourselves to a certain moment, and if we do, then that moment can last longer. And so, you know, I guess, you know, if we choose to hold on to it, how we move forward with that attachment, I guess, would be choice. And then so I could choose to be spiritual, even through hard times. Uh, you know, because obviously we try to be when it's easy. But I think what I'm trying to understand is, what about the hard times? The times that really push us, or I don't want to say define us, because we're always, you know, defining ourselves from moment to moment. Um, you know, with the choices that we make and how we choose to react to certain things, you know, we always have a chance to do something different. You know, we don't have to be what we were in the past. So, you know, if you know there was a something that you didn't like, you know, if you always, I don't know, use bad language when you stubbed your toe, and then you know the next time you stub your toe, you just, you know, don't use bad language. You know, I guess that's a choice, and that's a chance, or that's a moment where you can change your definition. Um, but yeah, I guess my if anybody has any thoughts about like living that life of maybe with I don't know, I labeled it living with spirituality. I kind of, yeah, life of duality. I don't know. I'm just I I just am trying to figure out, like, can we walk through life no matter what at the highest vibration? Like, is that, I guess, you know, going back, you know, maybe that's what Jesus did and Buddha did, and you know all those guys. Uh, man, I want to choose my words carefully, because it's like, you know, part of me just thinks, I'm not Jesus though, or I'm not Buddha, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I guess if you guys got something for me to help me like process this, uh, that would be awesome. Because the longer I think about it, it's like so many things come up. Like, you know, maybe it's a low self-esteem kind of thing where I'm not like valuing myself, or thinking like I can be like Jesus or Buddha, in the sense that, you know, I'm not saying like I can turn water into wine or stuff like that. But, you know, or go walk through life at my highest uh vibration, or you know, my brightest light, all the time, every single minute of the day. Yeah. I'm sure you guys got something for me. Please put it in the comments. This is this will help me out, I think. Maybe find a truth, or find an answer to this. Uh I guess maybe it will help some others too, who are going through stuff, and you know, looking for looking for a different way to walk this path. One that's maybe a little softer on the feet, or with less resistance. But yeah, if you could help me out, uh, can we walk this life uh, in with spirituality at our highest vibration, Jesus like, Buddha like? Are we supposed to? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this one out. But if you could get in the comments, give me some fat to chew on. Uh, that'd be really cool. Um, Thanks everybody, and I'll see you guys on the next one.